Morning, humanity. It's July 9th, 2018, and this is Mondays with Bev and Paul. And guess what? My name's Paul.
My name is Bev.
Well, hi, Bev.
Hi, Paul.
So we thought we'd take you to just a little area of coolness since we're sitting at 100 and, what is it?
It's only going to be 98 today.
98 today, but
Ooh.
we'll give you a moment of peace and tranquility.
Oh, okay, yes.
So we love doing these shows. Every week we have a little different opportunity to practice our video skills or our, the studio skills.
Studio. You do it.
Trying to get the fluff off your hair. Or
I know. It's crazy.
Or the shirt to work out. I mean, it's not even that color.
I know.
But we'll figure it out. We have real fun doing this. So we do these shows every week. It's funny. I was at a party the other night and I said, yeah, you can check out our Monday shows. They said, oh, you do a show?
I know. Yes, we do. For about almost 2 years.
Yeah. And it's like, well, this is really a show. And we have a good time with it. The show is designed to teach you Biotouch. It's also designed to highlight a part of our manual or our book written by Deborah Schildhouse.
And eventually, hopefully, start stirring up some interest in communicating with us through questions, comments, and also to always update you on what's happening with our certified practitioners around the world.
And we have somebody who interacts with us, and they wanted to know. They had read this article about alternative, complementary, and integrative medicine. So she asked the question, is Biotouch alternative, complementary, or integrative healthcare?
Ooh, that's a really great question.
It is, but
yes.
In order for us to deal with it, we have to get off of the peak and back into the world.
Right.
And so I love doing this. Poof!
Wow. Look at you.
Magic. It's
you
magic
are magic
in the hands.
I know, I told you. Hey, and before we start, can I just say a real quick happy birthday to my little grandson, Blake. He turns 4 today.
What a guy.
I know. They just were out for a visit.
Hello,
Grandma
Blake.
loves you. Have a great day, honey.
The world loves you, Blake.
Yes, they do. Yes, they do.
Yeah, you really had blitzed out last week.
It was
going
lovely.
From here to,
I know.
just looked at the pictures. I'm like, I'm exhausted just looking at the pictures.
We crammed a lot of good stuff in 5 days.
That was fun.
Yeah.
All right. So here's our question. Is Biotouch alternative, complementary, or integrative? And so the article that was sent to me to read basically had little definitions of each of these particular kinds of medicine that they call it. And the first one is conventional or standard medicine, refers to Western medicine as we know it today. Alternative medicine is just that. It's an alternative. The patient chooses to forego conventional medical treatment in favor of an alternative. Complementary medicine is when a non-mainstream practice is used together with conventional medicine. And integrative medicine is healing-oriented medicine that takes account of the whole person, including all aspects of lifestyle. It emphasizes the therapeutic relationship between practitioner and patient, is informed by evidence, and makes use of all appropriate therapies. The approach integrates conventional with complementary medicines. All right. A lot in there.
There's a lot in there. Yeah.
So I would have to say probably we would fit in a beginning under the integrative approach. We've always said we're not alternative. The buzzword used to be complementary.
Right.
But now we are with integrative, but it's sort of, as we were talking about, it sort of moves a little beyond that. Especially, it says, it emphasizes the therapeutic relationship between practitioner and patients.
You know what I've realized in just the 4 years that I've really been working with you, that we're going through a little bit of an evolution in our own thinking about Biotouch too. Because as you say, when I first started working here, we were considered a complementary technique, but it's moved. And I think a lot of that has to do with all of us being ready to step out of that traditional type of allopathic thought form. And we are beginning to understand that healing and health is a holistic state of being. And so we have been saying that that we are more integrative now. And for me, I think we're just stepping one more little step out there and saying, oh, we really are a holistic approach to health and healing.
And that holistic, and I think one of the things we were talking about was that the distinction between the patient and the practitioner, or the patient and the doctor, or even in a lot of these integrative approaches, I think it's like we've still taken, we're taking new wine and we're putting it into old bottles. We haven't quite changed the paradigm that each of us are the practitioner. Each of us are the healer. And I just read from a dear friend of mine who teaches shamanistic work. She says we're all shamans. And so I think we're all practitioners in this work. And that's really what distinguishes us.
I totally agree with that. And that's why we are in the process of going, wait a minute, what really is Biotouch? Because it moves us away from the status quo, this ancient thought form that in order to heal, there has to be somebody designated as a healer, and you are the one being healed. Well, when that thought form, continues, then we are already separated, not just from each other, but from our own power to heal within ourselves. And so Biotouch is a grassroots healing movement. It's a revolution.
It's a revolution.
It's a movement of reminding us, just like the shaman, she says we're already shamans, we're already the healers. So Biotouch helps us to remember that. And it doesn't take somebody with a traditional training. It just takes a human being to touch another human being. That is breaking the mold.
So it's very interesting when you said that, because I'm reminded of Hakim. Hakim was the elder who lived in Giza at the pyramids, and Shahrazad was his daughter who learned Biotouch. So when I went out there, he said, Biotouch is an ancient Egyptian. Oops, hold on here.
It's the Pharaoh's calling.
The Pharaoh's calling.
Yes, indeed.
Okay, I believe. So he had said to us that Biotouch was an ancient Cometian healing tradition, which he said goes back tens of thousands of years. And the interesting thing that I remember learning from him, when you talk about it's an old thought form, the healer and the person being healed, he actually was telling me how all the pyramids and the statues to the different places was all created by man to put man in control, to be one up. And so it created a fear base, it created legends, and it all came from where he always said, because when I asked him about where the pyramids really built by extraterrestrials and that concept and stuff, he said all of this happened before where mind was one. And then we started creating all the hierarchies. And even in ancient Egyptian traditions, that's how it was created. And that, what he said was, that was the beginning of humanity, right? So here, all these tens of thousands of years, you said it's an old thought form.
Ancient
Thought form. And here we're trying to say, no, you sitting out there right now are the practitioner. You are the healer, so to speak. And everyone you touch will be the same, because you can pass this on to someone else. It's a chain which shall go on indefinitely.
Definitely. Yeah. And, one of the things that Paul and I are really and kind of holding is the fact that in the midst of all of this thinking, old ways of thinking about who we are individually, who we are as a group, who we are as somebody with a birthright to be loved, to be healthy. These are like revolutionary ideas, but not new ideas. They're ancient, concepts now being revitalized, because I think that we have just come through a whole cycle, an ancient cycle, and we're coming back into a remembering. And so, what we're just holding for everyone in terms of that holistic is that you've already got it. You've always had it. And so, we're all just together remembering. And now that's why Biotouch is so powerful.
Right. And we have a quote from a man that we were doing some branding work with, Brett Howlett. And he goes like this. He goes, Biotouch is considered the expert leader in the touch category of treatments and a powerful option amidst the collective healing arts.
Ooh, this is what we're here.
We're ready.
And humanity's ready.
Yes. Everybody's ready. We're all ready to do this.
I know, it's true. So I would like to read just a short little part from the preface in our manual.
Here's the manual right there.
We always would like to share with you. And it says, any aspect of the body, when out of harmony, manifests a characteristic disorder which in turn involves other parts of the body that are dependent on its proper functioning. Thus arises the need for a system that addresses the body and possesses the capacity to encourage it toward healing itself and restoring harmony. This is the purpose of the procedures presented in this manual. Biotouch is performed by person-to-person contact, and both the associate and the recipient may be surprised and pleased as their joint functions begin to exhibit vigorous, positive results. Well, person to person.
Person to person. I know there's equal words, person
to person.
And you know what I like about that too is both the practitioner and the associate, the practitioner and the recipient, the person, everybody. It's like everybody notices a change. You know, if I'm doing a session with someone in a room, it's not just them so-called being healed. I mean, it's incredible the healing that goes inside of me, the self-awareness that I grow in, and as they get better, I feel better. It's incredible. As they have less pain, it's like, oh, I feel better too.
It's true. I mean, in every staff member down here who I've ever talked to experiences the same. Something is happening in that connectedness, in that holistic relationship between two people. It's powerful and it's real and it happens. We've all experienced it. Yeah.
So let's take this new wine and let's put it in new bottles. Let's change the paradigm. Let's change the talk. You know, it doesn't negate anything else out there. It doesn't negate, us going to the medical profession, people who have expertise in fields that I don't know. And that becomes the integrative approach. So we can use Biotouch with the integrative approach, with the alternatives, with the complementaries. And yet it stands alone in the empowerment of each individual out there to practice and help another human being.
And the other thing that it's really helping all of us to do is to step into, when you start taking responsibility yourself for your journey into healing, that's a powerful change. Biotouch lets us change what we've accepted as an old paradigm within our own thinking process about our own bodies and our own presence. And let me tell you, when the quality of your health improves, it lets us step into more and more service. That's
Yes.
That whole holistic life, living your life.
So we always want to teach you something to do. And when we talked about, that togetherness there, the person-to-person touch, it's as simple as doing what we're going to show you here, the greeting. If all you could do would be this greeting, something, things will start changing as the one neuroscientist says, the deepest seat of consciousness. So let's show you how to do some points, just the greeting.
The greeting is always performed at the beginning of each session. It's the only set that uses one hand and the only set that indicates which hand to use. The greeting is performed with the dominant hand. If you are right-handed, use your right hand. If you are left-handed, use your left hand. The greeting is made by touching at point 1, which is in the fleshy area just below the bottom of the breastbone or sternum. Hold this point for 6 to 8 seconds. Then, with the same 2 fingers, touch point 2 on the back. To find point 2, look for the big bone at the base of the neck. From here, move 1 to 1.5 inches to the left. This is point 2. Hold this point for 6 to 8 seconds. More than one associate may work with a recipient provided that all of the associates perform the greeting. If the associate or the recipient leaves the session, or if someone who hasn't done the greeting touches either the recipient or the associate, the greeting must be reestablished. Then the session may proceed from where it was interrupted.
There you go. The equality of the family.
Wow, and just those 2 points ignites your body into an amazing journey.
And the funny thing that, again, what we've shown is some ancient sculptures and hieroglyphs of people doing those exact same points. So the technique's been around almost as long as humanity's been on the planet. It was just reawakened, as far as I'm concerned, by a guy named Norman Cochrane. I just happened to get a back problem and had to stumble upon this guy in a town of 900 people in Mancos, Colorado, 30 years ago, almost 30 years ago. And it's just been my job to get it out there. Like we were saying, it's our life. And we're grateful that Bev has taken the reins of running the board in this organization. We work with some amazing volunteers. You know,
so honored.
Yes, so honored. And it really is breaking that paradigm of, you don't need money. You don't need a social status. You don't need a conscious awareness of anything. You just have to be one human being that wants to work with another human being.
Wow,
that's it.
That's powerful.
Yes. And so please, we hope you want to learn to do this technique. Go to our website, justtouch.com. Pass this on to other folks. Let's start talking about it. As Brett said, Biotouch's time has come. It is time now to get Biotouch out there.
I totally agree with that. I'm excited.
Yes, we are excited, and so are all the people that are sharing our book around the world, wherever it is. Here it is. Where in the world is Biotouch? Oh, there's Julie in San Diego. So, Biotouch, Healing with the Power in Our Fingertips, is a wonderful little story about how I met Norman, how Biotouch became a public technique. You can order the book online. You can get it with Amazon. If you get it, take a picture and send it to us.
Absolutely. Oh, yeah.
Send us your questions. We would love to hear and try to address whatever you might want to understand about Biotouch in relation to all the myriad of healing techniques that are out there in your own health, your own wellness. So, we did another Monday, Bev.
We did.
So as we leave you with these pictures of people from around the world, my name's Paul.
My name's Bev.
And we will see you all next week.
And have a glorious week, everyone. Yes.